Hello everyone, welcome to Easy Learning with Riha. I hope you all are doing good. So for today's lesson, we will be doing a story, The 10 Fairies. So first of all, I'll be telling you in short about this story. So this is a story about a girl whose name is Elsa and how the 10 fairies helps the girl. So if you all want to know about the story and how 10 fairies helps Elsa, please do watch the video till the end and do not forget to subscribe to my channel and also press the bell icon so that you'll get notified every time I upload new videos. So let's begin the story, The 10 Fairies. So once upon a time, there was a girl and her name was Elsa. She had her father and her mother with her. Her parents used to work very hard and they had become very rich after working hard. And Elsa was very dear to her parents. They used to love Elsa very much and did not let Elsa do any work. All they want was Elsa to play all day. So Elsa, she played all day. She laughed and sang and she did not knew how to do any of the household works. She did not know how to sweep a room, how to make a bread, how to sew a seam. She did not know anything. All she could do was laugh and sing all day. Even though she did not know how to do any works, she was loved by everyone because she was really very sweet, very lovely, and she was the only daughter of her parents. Elsa was loved and cared by everyone. And day by day, as Elsa grew up, one day she got married to a young boy. After that day, hard times began for Elsa because she had her own house to look after. There were so many works to do at her house, but Elsa, she could not do anything. And there was one maid who used to come to do the household works, and she used to ask Elsa how to do this and how to do that. To that, Elsa used to reply saying, "I don't know." And even the maid used to pretend like she did not know any work, and she also used to just sit along with Elsa. And when Elsa's husband saw all the house so dirty and Elsa sitting like that just doing nothing, he was very upset with Elsa. One day, Elsa's husband said to Elsa that the house is definitely going to look like this because you do not do any household works and you sit all day keeping your hands in your lap. And saying that, he went away. And this made Elsa very upset. She wanted to do all the household things. She wanted to make house clean, but she did not know how to do the works. So that made Elsa very upset and she started crying. And Elsa, she started crying very much because she did not want her husband to be unhappy. Even she wanted the house to be clean and all the works to be done, but she did not know anything, so that made her very upset. So Elsa sat down and she started crying and crying. And as Elsa was crying, she said that, "I wish I had 10 good fairies to help me to do all the works." So after saying this, Elsa was crying and crying again. And suddenly, a great grey man stood in front of Elsa. So when he saw that Elsa was crying very bitterly, he asked Elsa. He said to her, "What happened, dear? Why are you crying?" To this, Elsa replied saying that, "When I was a little girl, I did not do any work. All I used to do was I used to play all day long, and now I am married and I do not know how to keep my household clean and how to do the household work. I do not know how to make a bread. I do not know how to sweep a room. I do not know how to sew a seam. And I cannot make my husband happy because of it. So that's why I'm very upset and I'm crying, and I wish that I had 10 good fairies to help me." So after listening to this, the grey man said, "Okay dear, you shall have them." Saying this, he shook his cloak. So cloak is a long garment which usually magicians and kings wear. And once he shook his cloak, out of the cloak came 10 tiny fairies. And the great grey man said to Elsa that these 10 fairies are going to be your servants and they are going to do each and every work of your house, and they will help you in all the works, and whatever you will tell them, they will do it for you. But if the neighbors will see these 10 tiny fairies, they are going to ask you different questions. So I'm gonna hide those 10 fairies for you, said the grey man. and he said to Elsa to stretch out her hands. "Give me your useless hands," said the grey man to Elsa. And as Elsa stretched her hands, the grey man said, "Stretch out your useless 10 fingers." So as Elsa stretched out her 10 fingers, the grey man touched each of her fingers. As the grey man touched the fingers, he said the names, saying, "Little thumb, forefinger, thimble finger, ring finger, little finger." Little thumb, forefinger, thimble finger, ring finger, little finger. For every name there was a fairy. So as the grey man called out their names, the tiny little fairies started bowing down their heads. The grey man ordered the fairies to hide away, and they hopped and they hid on Elsa's 10 fingers. So Elsa, she was very much amazed after seeing all this. And Elsa, she sat down and in wonder she started looking at her 10 fingers. But these 10 fairies, they were not used to staying still. They could not stay still, so they started moving. And after this, Elsa, she jumped up from her bed and she went to the cooking table. And as soon as Elsa was on her cooking table, the 10 little fairies and Elsa's hands started doing the work. In blink of an eye, everything was done. This was the nicest wish anyone could have. Elsa's fingers, they grabbed the broom, and in no time, all the house was completely clean. And whatever work Elsa used to touch, the fairies used to complete it in no time. And after seeing all the works done so beautifully, Elsa's maid was very ashamed to not do any work. So even Elsa's maid started doing all the works along with Elsa very beautifully. After that day, Elsa's house was never dirty again. It was very beautiful and clean all the time. And now Elsa, she could laugh and sing like before. Now there was no more fights and no more sadness in Elsa's house. Elsa's husband was very happy with Elsa, and he kept on telling everyone that my grandmother was a fine housekeeper, my mother was also a fine housekeeper, but none of them could match Elsa. She has only one maid, but she keeps house so clean and tidy. After looking at the household works and after looking at the cleanness of the house, anyone could think that Elsa has as many servants as her fingers. When Elsa used to listen to all those things, Elsa, she used to laugh quietly, but she never told about her 10 fairies to anyone. And after that day, Elsa lived happily ever after with her husband and her 10 tiny fairies. That's how the story ends. And I hope you all enjoyed the story. And if you all liked the story, do not forget to like and share it with your friends. And also write down in the comments if you have any questions or any doubts regarding this story. And you can also write down if you want me to cover any chapter of your choice. That's it for today. Do not forget to subscribe to my channel, press the bell icon, stay safe, stay home, and keep learning.